the best to you from
Fuzz Talk
Radio. JMose.
Leaks canceled. Leaks canceled. Leaks canceled. Leaks canceled. Leaks canceled. Canceled. Leaks canceled.
Wow. Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. And yeah, I had to close the window. Trevor May is just out there yelling leagues canceled. I don't know what he's talking about, but once again, well, I didn't even say it yet, so there is no once again, but I'll say it again. Once again, this is FuzzJockRadio. I am your host, Fuzzy. We got our host, JMose.
That's me.
And we got our host, C-Dubs.
That's me.
And then we also have a special guest of the host most and the hest in the building, JMose.
Howdy. That's me.
He's here, guys. We got JMose in the studio.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Who the fuck is JMose?
Who the fuck is JMose? That is absolutely always the question. Yeah, JMose, who the fuck are you?
That's a very good question. So, like I was saying earlier, I made my social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my next album is going to be called I Am JMose. So I came up with today. So you'll find out on the next album.
JMose here is one of my really close friends of both me, JMose, and C-Dubs. We've known him for a long time. I would like to say like a family friend, family member. He's a musician. He's a hip hop artist, a hip hop extraordinaire, and he goes by JMose, of course, as you know. And he put out an album. How long ago was that?
8 years ago.
8 years ago, put out an album called "Who Is JMose?"
Maybe longer than that.
Well, Fuzz Talk Radio is 10, so it can't be too much longer than that.
We edited the album artwork at your studio back then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The three of us were at your studio, and we edited the album art.
Oh, that was so much fun. And so he performed at Red Rocks and What's Up Lounge here in Mankato quite often, played in the cities quite often as well, with a bunch of awesome names like Redman.
Yeah, that was so fun.
That was a lot. That was a good times. So that's who JMose is, and he's working on a new album coming up here in the near future.
I Am JMose.
I Am JMose with his with a couple guest features of Relium Prime and Double O Lente, and so keep your eyes open.
Guys.
We will definitely let you know when that album drops, and we'll in the liner notes of this show we'll have all of his social media links and stuff like that, so you can start following him.
Now that I have it.
8 years later.
Right.
But yeah, so we had a week off since we last had our last episode, which was episode 8, and this is episode 9. Right? Am I right on this?
No.
This is not episode 9?
No, this is episode 10.
Oh, episode 10. Okay, so we're on episode 10 of season 2.
No, it might be episode 9 though.
You think so?
It might be.
9 comes after 8, right?
It does.
Okay.
The last time I did some fuzzy math.
Okay.
So I don't know. Let's get right into it.
Our ordering system got a little bit hijacked, I think.
It's all right.
As long as there's a number, I think it'd be good.
It's episode 10.
We just need numbers.
Episode 10.
Mez.
Hi. What did you do this last week?
Oh man, I tried to cope with my emotions and hang out with my kid and play video games.
Oh, that's good. That sounds like a good week, other than the emotional thing.
Yeah.
But we totally understand.
It's a necessary thing to do.
Mm-hmm. See,
And yeah.
I'm going to interrupt you so you can get emotional.
Oh, okay.
C-Dubs. What's up?
I had my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday.
No, we got the same birthday.
Yeah, we got
June
the same
14th?
birthday.
Are you kidding me?
Happy
Yes.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday
JMose,
to
too.
you. Happy birthday.
Dude, we already had a birthday episode though.
Yeah,
Yes,
So
we
we got-
already had the birthday episode though, so we can't have
We-
another one. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is the sequel.
this is the sequel to
Double
birthday show.
Jeopardy.
We allowed to have
Birthdays.
sequels?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, we do
Yep.
whatever we want.
So birthday, and you watch some wrestling. and
Watched some wrestling, then went back to work for the first time in a while, just today.
That's awesome.
I got to see the finished Dodger Stadium. It was very interesting to walk around that.
They made a new stadium.
Well, they built a whole bunch of new stuff in the outfield, and it's way different now. Like it does not look like a stadium made a million years ago, like it used to.
Well, I'll look forward to that in the opening day. JMose, how was your week? Oh,
It was great.
I don't know when the week starts for you because we haven't had you on an episode yet.
When
but-
you say week, I just assumed it was the weekend.
okay,
So I'm referring to my birthday weekend.
Okay.
It started on Friday.
and it was great.
It was awesome. I went up north, 3.5 hours away,
Nice,
fished the whole weekend.
nice.
And had beers and got away from society, and it was relaxing and awesome.
I think that's what a lot of us need to do.
Yeah.
And it sounds relaxing. It's always good to disconnect. You know, no matter how things are going, and how maybe that's actually like the time that you really should disconnect is when things are getting very, very overwhelming and you can't really do anything personally to help. Why stress out, and might as well go and relax a little bit and
Right.
disconnect from that social media and disconnect and just relax.
I almost threw my phone in the water just because
It's like I
I
don't
wanted
need
to be
technology
fully
anymore.
disconnected.
So, like I said,
Fuzzy, what about your week?
oh yeah, my week.
Whoa.
What did I do this week, guys?
Uh-oh.
I don't remember.
Well,
Sat there again, didn't you? You look like you have dust all over you again.
I mean, yeah, I've been
Did
sitting
you
down
just
in this
sit here
bunker.
waiting all week for us?
Yeah, just sitting down in this bunker and quarantining myself to make sure I don't get anybody sick.
You've been here for how long? It's like a 6-month quarantine.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, with the blood clot and everything, it's like I always kind of joke that, I've been practicing quarantine before everybody else has, so this really hasn't affected my lifestyle a whole lot because I've already been doing it.
So you knew something before the rest of.
Yeah, my body had premonitions that hey, let's get everything fixed before, because I was able to go to the dentist as well before all this hit because I woke up and decided I'm not going to drink anymore and I'm going to actually take care of myself a bit. And yeah, it was perfect timing. My body was like, dude, let's take care of yourself before COVID hits, because that's not going to be fun going to the doctor after that. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to look forward to seeing that new Dodger Stadium, C-Dubs, when the opening season starts, because that's happening soon, right?
Yeah, about that. I think there's a reason someone's screaming outside your window. I think he feels vindicated.
What happened?
Yeah. Today, the MLB commissioner said he's no longer 100% that there will be a season.
Wait, didn't he say last week that he was 100% sure that they're going to be reopening?
He said that
Or
4 days
opening?
ago.
4 days, only 4 days ago.
4 days ago, he said he was 100% sure there would be 2020 baseball.
So what happened over this weekend? JMose had his birthday and disconnected, and he's like, well, nobody's going to watch if JMose is going to disconnect.
Well, it sounds like today the owners were supposed to come to terms on what the season was going to be, and they were going to have a schedule at the end of the day, and we would know the 50-game schedule.
And
Yep.
the players were basically sitting there saying, hey, we don't care anymore. Just give us a schedule. Tell us where to show up, and we'll show up and play.
Yep.
Okay.
So that was the deal.
So the owners,
And then the owners all talked.
and then the owners came in.
And now all of a sudden they don't think it's going to work because the owners are being cheap. So they've basically made a threat that the only way they would allow a season to happen is if the baseball players sign an agreement that they will not register a complaint later against them for like lost wages or improper care of their health and stuff like that, because they know they would lose if they did that to them.
So what you're saying is that the owners are worried about getting like basically sued for anything that might happen in the bubble?
Not even technically that. It's more of that they're worried. So here's the thing. The players and the owners are basically arguing over $1 billion.
Okay.
And the players are owed this $1 billion, and the owners are trying to not pay it to them. So they're worried that if they complain they didn't get their proper wages, someone will look at it in court and say, yes, you did not get your proper wages. You are owed $1 billion. They don't want to give them that, so that's why they want to take away their ability to sue them later.
Wow.
Because they don't want to give them the $1 billion.
Wow.
And the worst part is they just signed a TV deal with TBS or Turner Communications or whatever for $1 billion.
Exactly
They
what they're asking for.
just got $1 billion put in their pockets, and they refuse to give it to the people they owe it to.
They owe $1 billion. If they owe it, they should just pay it.
Well, if they do the contracts the way they're supposed to play out, it would be $1 billion is being lost by the players.
League's canceled. League's canceled.
Yeah, that sounds like bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I heard all day the radio people just argue with each other over the ownership being idiots. Like, no one was complaining about the players on all the stations I listened to today, because I was like, this is big news. I wonder what people are saying. And everyone was railing against the owners because it is them who are being stupid.
That's pretty refreshing to hear that, at least, because
Yeah.
a lot of times you're gonna hear people on the other side saying, "Well, the players get paid enough anyway, so why are they even sitting there complaining about it?" When we've had the discussion before, there's money to be had, so why not give it to the players? You know, where's that TV advertisement $1 billion going to? Like, is any of that going to the players, or is it just going into the owners' pockets?
Owners' pockets. The players don't see any of that TV contract they just made. What do you guys think of that?
That's like,
What do you think?
The owners get
that's
paid
what makes me
more
feel
than the players, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's their property, right?
I can't find
No.
the words. Can't find the
Yeah.
words.
that's not property.
It's ridiculous.
It's maddening.
It's ridiculous.
It,
I mean, these players are getting paid a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. But the owners are getting paid more. And for them to be cheap,
They don't do
Greedy?
anything.
Yes,
They get all this money
exactly.
for free, basically.
Yeah.
It's just investments. They've made investments and then they're paying off. But can't you take one hit to make sure your product doesn't get hurt? I mean,
compared to what these owners are making, the players aren't making that much. So
No.
for them to,
it's frustrating, isn't it?
yeah, as an
absolutely
athlete,
frustrating.
it's very, very frustrating.
Oh yeah, that's something we have with JMose here. Is he was a
No longer an athlete. Sorry, I might have misspoken. I'm no longer an athlete as a former athlete.
but you were more than just like a high school athlete.
Right.
Is it semi-pro or
Yeah, I played semi-pro football.
semi-pro football guy over here?
Nice.
Did you guys get paid for that being semi-pro, or is that just
The football team in Mankato here just had started that year. So we were literally the brokest team in the league. Like we didn't have athletic trainers, we didn't have transportation like buses, we didn't have like a real coaching staff. Like the first game we played, this team pulls up 2 buses, like 10 coaching staffs. They got a full athletic training team, everything. We're freaking we are riding to, like we're I can't think of the word. We're riding together, like in each other's vehicles.
Carpooling.
Yeah, we're carpooling. We're going there having to tape each other's ankles and do this and that. But it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't get paid for that, but it was fun. Like there was no medical insurance or anything, so you were out there risking a lot. If you get injured, like you got to pay for this on your own.
And there was an owner involved in that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And was he involved in?
I never met the owner.
Never met the owner.
No, I only met the head coach of our team.
I mean, like it doesn't even. I don't even know how to phrase what I'm going to say because it's just frustrating because it's not just with sports that stuff like this happens. You have, big companies that, the owners are making hands over fist, however, aren't doing literally aren't doing anything to make that money. Yes, it is their store that they created or is the product that they created. But how far, should that go? Intellectual property rights are great.
They wouldn't have anything without the players. So even the business, they wouldn't have the business without the employees.
Walmart wouldn't be able to do shit without their employees.
Exactly.
These football teams wouldn't be able to play football without their players.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, you can't really make a rule or like a law saying you only can make so much money off of owned property, but you would think that these people would have some empathy of who's actually doing the work, I guess, and would want to.
You think they'd see it in their own best interest,
right? I mean,
that makes sense.
If your
right?
employees and your players are happy, that's generating more money. So you'll consistently make money. If you're going to upset your employees and players, you're only messing with your own pockets. Like if you're worried about money and being greedy, you're only doing that to yourself by treating your players and employees like this.
And once employees catch wind that they're not being treated equally or treated right, what happens? Protests and strikes.
Yep.
And, I'm not going to play anymore if you don't do this. And
how much money do you need?
That's the question I'm asking. How much money does an owner really need without sacrificing, his team?
If you have $500 million in the bank, why even consider shortening the people that make your business?
Why not put that money back into your business that's going to make you more money, that's going to make other people happy to be part of your business?
What's crazy, each owner too is is billionaires. It's not like they're only just barely a billionaire. Like they have many billions.
Right.
Like they aren't scraping by as team owners by any means, and the team's not even their main business. It's like their side project.
Yeah, that's a big
spare change off.
That's a really good big point there. A lot of who was it? Red McCombs had he was a automobile dealership dude that bought the Vikings, right?
And then what?
No. The current Vikings owners, they weren't
the Wills.
Yeah, they weren't in football.
They're real estate people.
Yeah.
They want that fun thing to be a rich person and have a sports team.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's weird, and like I said before, with the bubble teams, the bubble cities starting to come into conversation with quarantine games and stuff. I just keep on saying, it's just, did these players when they signed up, did they sign up to be quarantined from their families and not actually be able to do anything with anybody else other than just play basketball? There's certain professions like the military that knows that that's what they're signing up for, but I don't know. And I'm kind of starting to get into the basketballness of this. But
let's get into the basketballness.
I do see something Oh yeah,
Yes.
So I just see one more point about the MLB. I'm seeing a comment that C-Dubs put up on our notes about the Yankees were involved in more serious sign stealing schemes in the 2017, and
That's
Manfred covered it up.
Yeah, the same guy that we're complaining about right now, being a horrible commissioner working with these owners, covered up another cheating scandal with the Yankees. And we don't know anything about it yet because the papers don't get released till the 19th. But yes, they apparently cheated also.
Along with the Astros. Is that the
Yes.
same? Is that all the same year?
Yep, that's the same year.
I'm done with them. I'm done with it. League's canceled.
League's
League's
canceled,
canceled, bro.
absolutely.
I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah, but just this guy's got to go. This commissioner has been a failure.
How do we get rid of such a horrible commissioner? How does this work in the MLB?
I mean, basically, the league has to lose faith in him, not any of us. We don't matter. It's the league itself will have to be like, he's not working for us
Like
anymore.
the Players
Just not.
Association will have to push.
Yeah, they'll have to step in, and like owners themselves will have to have no more faith in him. It's not like they can just
get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's going to be tough. That's going to be interesting too, because if the commissioner himself has been covering it up, what else has he been covering up during these seasons? Like for the favorite teams, and maybe is that part of the reason why the Twins can't get anything done? Because
is that why they de-juiced the ball? Maybe like there's no explanation to that. They just did it, and then they denied they even had a juiced ball, which was proven they did.
Yeah, the poor. I mean, I always say the poor Twins, but like Palente is not poor. It's just that he doesn't want to give money to his team.
Yeah.
Sounds like I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the poll ads are so.
Or
I mean,
not
they
Palente,
really.
poll ads.
Yeah, poll
I'm
ads.
sorry.
But they're again. They have plenty of money, and they refuse to invest it in their baseball team because they don't care. They're not baseball people.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Why wouldn't you continue to invest in something that's generating a large amount of? Well, I guess I can't say a large amount of your income if a lot of these owners, it's a side.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's
generating that amount of income. Why wouldn't you continue to invest into that? And make your employees happy so they can generate more money. Like that's what you're after. The goal is for them to get more money, right? That's why they're being greedy like this. So
but I'm sure it's probably like a numbers game. It's just like they're gonna make more money if they don't care and like just keep going for the next thing.
Yep. Moneyball. Pay as little as possible. Get a team that at least puts up a couple wins. You still come out on top even if they lose 100 games. You still make a profit. I mean, what's the point of putting out a good team if you can still make a profit when they lose 100 games?
Yeah, the risk factor of putting in money to not putting in money is probably a lot greater to not putting in money.
That makes sense.
It's sad though, because these players are human.
Isn't in all of these professional sports? Isn't there a board? Like they have to. The new owners, for a person to buy a team, they have to be accepted and approved by other owners, correct?
Yes.
You would think they would have been like vetted and like
And they have players associations to speak up for the players themselves instead of just being rolled over what the league wants to do. And then I suppose that's a good segue into the NBA. I mean, so with the NBA wanting to restart the season and finish it off, because I think they got through like 75% of their season before Corona hit, and they were getting really close to wanting to have Orlando as a bubble city, and they were getting really close to opening up, and then all of a sudden Irving, the NBA's one of the NBA's vice presidents of the player association spoke up for a lot of the players, and they had like an 80-person phone conversation about how they don't want to start it back up because right now there's a movement going on, and they don't want to start up an NBA season and take away from the Black Lives Matters movement and the George Floyd protests and everything. And a lot of the players are coming out and saying, if we start up the NBA Finals, all of a sudden, all the TV and all the TV and media is just going to concentrate on just the NBA Finals and push everything else aside.
Oh, I thought they were being thoughtful. That's not the reasoning?
Yeah, no, they're totally Irving and a bunch of the players are just like, no, the Black Lives Matter movement is going strong right now, and we don't want to detract from that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of older NBA players that aren't playing anymore, that are saying that they're just dumb to say that, and that they should shut up and dribble. Just to put it out there. I mean, that's basically what I'm hearing Charles Barkley say. And what some of these older players are saying is just, guys, this isn't the time. We're going to lose a lot of money once again.
Charles Barkley, who listens to that guy?
Right.
You want to have an intelligent conversation, Charles Barkley's not going to be the guy you want to talk to.
But once again, yeah, it comes down to money, and a lot of these older players that are in the know or in broadcasting now are saying, you young kids have to go and play in this. Sure, it's in a bubble city, but who cares?
Well, there's even been some concerns brought up health-wise with some of the players in this same group who also are bringing up so this is a kind of unknown thing. So if they stay at the hotels, the people who clean their rooms don't get tested.
No, that doesn't make sense.
So they're worried that they still could come in contact with someone who has it, because there will be people in the building who aren't quarantined with them. So then that defeats the purpose of the bubble cities. So they don't see how they're being protected properly.
Another thing too that was brought up is everybody going to be treated equally? Are the rookies or the bench players going to be treated just like LeBron James and the big cats? Is everybody going to be able to have to stay, or do certain players get to leave every once in a while, or do they get better? And do some of the players get better amenities because they're the star player? And I mean, it's valid points to bring up. If I was a bench player and I had to live in a bubble city with everybody, I would want to be treated just as well as even if I'm not a star.
Yeah.
You're
still a person.
I'm still a person. I should be accommodated just like everybody else.
I worked just as hard to get here as you did. Just because you're more famous than I am doesn't mean I should be treated worse than you.
Exactly.
Or less than,
And none of those points were even brought up when the owners and everybody was saying, well, we got Orlando, we got the bubble city, let's go. Not even thinking about people. And
we're missing out on money. Come on, let's just get this thing rolling.
And that's the thing. Yeah. They're like, oh, we're going to lose out on $1 billion or whatever. And they say that they're going to lose all this money when it's not even money that they have yet.
It's not. They're not losing anything.
Yeah. You're just not making it.
Yeah, it's a potential.
Yeah, you're just not making it.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. And all the points that the players that don't want to play bring up makes absolute sense to me. And sure, I'm not an athlete or anything, but it's just
former.
I'm a former. I suppose I'm
a
former
athlete.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to live in conditions like that to do my sport. I don't know.
I say they're all adults.
Mm-hmm.
These are all professional athletes. Whoever decides that they are willing to do that and live in the bubble, let them. If you want to get your season rolling that bad, you'll work with what you have. Half choose not to play, the other half chooses to play. Work with what you got. If that's how bad you want to get it rolling, I mean, they're all professionals. So
that's what UFC and WWE has been doing. They've been still broadcasting and having live events without audience members.
Which has been very different. I'll use
different.
That word.
Yes.
Very different.
Yes. But with all their wrestlers, they said, yeah, okay, this is going on, and we're gonna keep going. If you don't want to be part of this, that's totally fine. We'll still pay you, and at the same time, we'll try to incorporate you into stories as well. Like the AEW, the way they did that was they had a drone as a character, and the drone would go from the bubble city to different people that are not in the bubble, and they'd have conversations with them, and like this flying drone was an actual like a
character.
thing.
Close, like
Yeah, it's like a person. They called it Vanguard.
I mean, if this thing lives, the coronavirus lives on surfaces for what, 3 days?
Yeah,
Or something like
that.
that.
Yeah.
I was,
But it was just neat, like looking outside the box to still include people that are. I mean, I know that team sports are totally different, and you can't just make a story, for them to be included or whatever. But yeah, I think you're right. Give the people the option, and they are kind of giving them. They're giving them the option, but saying that if you don't play, well, what's going to happen? And unfortunately, I mean. I don't know. I keep on saying unfortunately in this episode. On the other side of this aspect is, King James absolutely wants to play. He says that, it's our duty to play basketball and keep people, going with this. And I'm worried about his intentions with that. Like
As much as I love him, I think he just wants that championship.
I do too.
which probably would be a lot easier to get if half of his competition weren't playing.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. And which would make an asterisk. I would think an asterisk on his career.
Definitely. You got this ring during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It doesn't count.
No,
But he feels that what he's said, what he has stated is that he feels that it'd be an injustice to Black Lives Matter not to play, because he feels that his voice would be a lot stronger on the basketball court than if they weren't playing at all.
What are you using the Black Lives Matter? What are you using that for? Like, what are your intentions behind you trying to say, I want a bigger, my platform while I'm playing basketball is bigger, so I'll be able to speak and reach to more people if we were playing basketball. You're just using, personal opinion, you're just using that. And I don't agree with it.
It sounds like an excuse. Absolutely. And going back to it, it just sounds like an excuse to get everybody to play again so he can get those championships. Because he absolutely wants to.
He wants to be better than Jordan.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to say next. I mean, the Jordan special came out right when they had to stop playing too. So he's just sitting there watching the Jordan special, being like, "I'm better than." I don't know. It's a frustrating situation as being a fan. That's for sure. Because for myself, I absolutely want sports to be going again, but I absolutely care about the players and them being treated correctly when they're sacrificing themselves for my entertainment.
How would people feel if they did start playing and then a third or a quarter of these professional athletes died? They contracted corona and they're just dead now. Owners got their money. The other players that didn't pass away got their money.
Yeah. Well,
that would be so devastating.
It would be that would be horrible.
And I'll add 100% preventable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just don't play. Just
Just let it pass. It's not going to be a pandemic forever. Just wait.
Yeah, exactly.
You make millions upon millions of dollars. You got more than enough money to wait this thing out.
That's exactly the point. I mean, you can cancel the rest of the season. Just say, sorry guys, we didn't have championships this year. Sorry MLB. Sorry we didn't have. We're just not going to start the season at all. But we are going to take this time to improve everything, so we can come back in 2021 and be like, look at how safe this is for everybody, you know. And if they took that time, there's a possibility that they'd even be able to figure out how to get fans to enjoy the non-fan stadium shit too. You know, it's a lot of time, and if you put your heads to things, you know, you can get things done. But if you're stressing to get something else done ahead of that, then that stress and just pushing it forward just doesn't make anything work. And I am 100% afraid for those players that do go in there and possibly, you know, it's not a bubble city like Charlie was saying. People are coming in and cleaning and not, you know, like, it's scary. It's very scary to me. And then the WNBA officially announced Monday that in agreement with the Players Union, it plans to have a 22-game regular season starting in late July. The league is finalizing an agreement with IMG Academy in Brenton, Florida, to host all the games, including the postseason in October. And during that player call that Irving had, he had a bunch of WNBA players on that too. And they're coming to an agreement, a lot of the players, that they don't want to play anymore either.
Yeah, a quarter of the players voted against it. But the only thing that I will give the WNBA is they've at least come up with, like, the bubble city rules are the same for everyone, and they are paying everyone 100% of their salary, regardless of only playing a 22-game season.
I cannot not say this. It's a lot easier to pay the WNBA their full salaries than it is to pay the NBA players their full salaries.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know the numbers, but the most successful WNBA player is making $80,000 a year. You know, over $100,000 a year. When the most famous NBA or most well-known NBA player is making millions upon millions of dollars a year. So, in that aspect of money, it's a lot easier for them to pay the WNBA.
Yeah. I still think there's a lot of, like I said, a quarter of the players were not in favor of starting this back up with the WNBA either. Even with getting paid, because the one thing with baseball is a lot of the players are at least saying, hey, we're willing to take the risk if we got paid 100% of our salary. That was part of their argument, was we're willing to take the risk for that, because that's a huge amount of money to them. But it sounds like some of these people, even getting paid 100% of their money is not enough for them, because like you just said, it's not that much money.
Right.
So I understand where there's, you know, at least, like I said, a quarter of the league did not want to get back together for the WNBA.
Why risk it? I don't understand it. Why you're literally risking lives, your life, and a number of other people's lives.
Yeah.
You can wait a year.
That's been our common thing. We all kind of have been like, maybe we shouldn't have sports, even though we want them. Maybe we just should wait.
Yeah, it's not like I dislike watching sports. I love to watch sports, but at what risk?
At what cost?
You know?
It's just for my entertainment, you know, and that's all it is. And that's where a lot of this, the just regular, just COVID deniers come from too, is that when you look at like the haircut protests or reopening the restaurants or reopening this or that, a lot of those things that they want reopened are service industry things where somebody is serving you, and people want these things reopened to be served.
America, baby. Lazy
for their entertainment, for their enjoyment.
No worries of the risk for other people.
Doesn't matter.
I'm shocked the amount of people that were excited and couldn't wait for the bars to open up.
Oh yeah,
like I can't wait to go spend more money on alcohol and sit in a place where like I'm more likely to contract COVID. I can't wait. The pandemic is still going on. Like, why?
It's like a lot of people are acting like it's just stopped. Right. And you should have saw our store when the lockdown happened. for the first 3 months of that, every single day we had record-breaking sales. And it was I don't want to say the word amazing to me.
I thought you were going to say the N-word. Throw a wrench in that conversation.
That would have been really interesting if I would have just threw that out there. No, it's just it was pretty awesome. You know, I don't even know the right word, but it was I was very taken aback about how many people were coming to get alcohol or coming to get. The big thing was disposable e-cigs. Every day, somebody would come in. A person would come in every single day for a $12 to $15 disposable e-cig during a pandemic, and I just keep on sitting here thinking, I'm selling. I could get the alcohol because there's alcoholics out there that just can't go a day without alcohol because they will die, and that's the reason why liquor stores are open. But these people are not looking at it as I'm willing to die to get that e-cig, because that's what they're doing. They're willing to die to go get that candy bar.
So they say,
Even
fuck
though
toilet
they could have
paper.
and they could buy 3 at a time, but they don't. They buy one so they can come back tomorrow.
And that's the thing. And it's just amazing to me how many people just don't even think about what they're doing, and I don't know. I'm so frustrated again, guys.
I'm kind of guilty of that myself. That's just because I feel like I know my body and my immune system. Like, I literally grew up in the dirt, I don't get sick maybe once a year,
Yeah.
and I chalk that up to literally growing up in the dirt. Like, we were outside 24/7 almost, eating dirt. Worms
and dirt.
Like, my immune system, I feel like I know my immune system pretty good, so I'm not worried of contracting this, but I have to worry about my children. I have to worry about my woman at home. You
got to worry about your parents.
Exactly.
Can you imagine if you gave your dad?
That would be a guilt that
Could never.
it
never.
would be so hard to live with that if you
And that's the biggest thing. It's not about us. It's about everybody else that has underlying conditions. Anybody else that's doesn't have that, hasn't been eating dirt their whole life. I mean, as soon as this started, I right away I'm like, I work in the public. I work with a lot of people that don't think that this is real at all. A lot of Trump and red hat supporters, and that means I can't see my mom and dad. My mom has dealt with being overweight for a long time, has a arrhythmic heart. My dad has diabetes, is getting old, and doesn't take care of himself. Mm-hmm. And I made the decision that I'll video chat with mom and sometimes go over there and just hang out in I won't go in their house.
hot tub.
Don't go in the hot tub. I can't even hug my mom, because I'm so worried that even though I have a good immune system as well, there's a chance that I don't even know that I have it.
Can I throw a hypothetical out there? So everybody who are taking those precautions, right? Great. I get it. I understand it. Say your parents caught it some other way, and now you have spent the last month, 2 months with no contact with them. Now they contracted it some other way, and they're going to pass away anyway. How would that make you feel that you consciously decided for their health-wise not to see them and not have contact with them?
I'm happy.
And then they contracted it anyway. The way I was looking at it is, I would be so angry if I went that amount of time without being able to see my parents or my family members, and then they contracted it some other way and passed away from it. Like, that was lost time that I could have been with them and spent with them.
I get that. I totally get that. I would feel worse if I know that I'm the one that gave it to him. And
or there was the risk that you could have.
Or if it did come from somewhere else, and I was hanging out with them, it would take away from the aspect of knowing if it came from me or if it came from somewhere else too. I kind of look at it as right before my blood clot, I wanted to get a tattoo on my leg, and a day before my tattoo appointment, I had to go to the hospital. And I kept on thinking, if I would have gotten that tattoo and then I had to go in the hospital, the aspect of me drinking too much was what caused the blood clot would have been a lot more questioned. It could have been, the tattoo could have, spurred something like that on. Mm-hmm. And with my parents and my family, it sucks not seeing them and not being able to hug my mom. But I would feel absolutely so much worse if they died because I gave them the COVID because because I'm too selfish to want to be around mom and dad. I mean, because it's not like I've just cut all ties with them. I still talk to them. Mm-hmm. I still do video chat with mom. I still go to their backyard and hang out with them in the backyard. It's just we got to keep the social distance.
Right.
And the love isn't gone. And mom knows that, and I know that. And yeah, it sucks not seeing them as often as I usually do. But yeah, I just feel that I would feel way more worse if I just decided fuck all that and give it to them.
I agree. If you were able to pinpoint it to yourself as the deliverer to them, that would eat you alive. I get it.
Kind of like the same with my radio show on KMSU. We can't go to KMSU right now, so for a couple times, Chuck and Joel came over here to do the broadcast. But Chuck works as a cook with elderly people in a nursing home, and I just kept on thinking, man, if he contracts it from me because we have to do a radio show because I work in the public at a gas station and he goes to the nursing home, cooks food and gives it to those nursing homes, I would feel fucking horrible. And even if it didn't come from me, but I knew that Chuck was coming over here and there's a possibility, that possibility scares the fuck out of me.
Do you guys know how much it costs to get tested?
No.
Either you guys?
Well, where I live,
do you know?
I know, I don't.
It's free in California?
It's free here. Yeah, I can just go to Dodger Stadium and sign up, and they'll do it for free.
That would be awesome.
Whoa.
If you're able to go get tested and then go and see your loved ones and be able to,
you could. Yeah, you could do that.
That's the big thing. Like the testing needs to be more available and free, so we can do that. Okay, this week I want to go see mom. Let's both of us get tested and let's give each other a hug.
That would be lovely.
It would be, yeah. Like an at-home test.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dope. I would have a big box of those.
We got a shortage on the test.
Fuzzy has
Take
all
one
the
every other
tests.
day just to check.
I left the house today.
I can see people getting addicted to the
Let me
testing
check.
method. Like, I love sticking this 6-inch Q-tip down my nose. I'm addicted to it.
I think it was you, C-Dubs, that brought up the point about all these sports wanting to reopen despite COVID, and we really shouldn't, because NFL is coming up soon, and they're absolutely opening. And
Are they?
That's what they have no intentions of delaying or anything.
Well, I mean,
They
the
are
MLB said that 4
100%.
days ago it was 100%.
That's true, but they have not. They don't even have a backup plan. They're a go, and that's a problem.
Yeah, I
Because-
don't know how much I believe in it. I mean, as it
Well,
gets closer to the
it
season.
might not be true though, because Ezekiel Elliott just got it today, or they just came out that Ezekiel Elliott has COVID today,
Really?
and then 3 other players do too.
Oh,
really?
here we go.
That's who they are though.
Oh boy.
Shit changes fast, man.
Yeah, daily.
So, so even though they said they're 100% and that they don't have a backup plan, might need a backup plan.
So now 3 or 4 players have COVID in the NFL.
And that's not during the football season.
Yeah,
And that's not even during the season.
Right.
and that's a high profile player
I
too.
don't see that
Very.
Pain in
And
the
Von Miller had it earlier this season. Actually, I don't even know if Von Miller recovered yet.
Oh, yeah, and let alone the aspect of, well, football's going to be playing, and you guys gonna try to compete against football with your NBA finals and your MLB standings or whatever. Like, we all know that the NFL is a absolute force in media and the United States sporting shit. That
I like that word.
sporting shit.
Hey, we're the premier listeners and watchers of sports games. With sports shit.
Dude, you
Yeah.
make enough money, go enjoy it. Just sit out for a year. Just chill out. Like, it's entertainment. This will come back around.
That's the
It's
thing.
not worth however many lives that will be taken out just for you to make some more money. Like, that is not, in my mind anyway, that's just my opinion, I guess.
I think you're on the right page with all the rest of us here.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know what? I got $60 million in the bank. I think I might take a couple trips this year and just chill out and enjoy my family and my kids, you know? No commitments, but to your family. How about you do that for a year? Mm-hmm. Like I said, this pandemic is not going to last forever. Just enjoy your money, man.
Yep.
Stop trying to make more of it. You got enough as is.
Did you guys see that NASCAR decided to ban the Confederate flag this week?
Yes.
It's huge.
Took them long enough.
It took them long enough, but that's huge.
Man.
That is huge. That's a major thing.
I mean,
Couldn't believe that actually when I read it. I thought it was.
It
fake.
took one NASCAR driver to throw out the N-word.
Not even during a
In a
real
not
race,
even
during a
race.
video game. That's so funny to me. Like, you got fired on your day off, Craig.
Yeah, you got fired on your.
That's exactly.
Playing a video game, you got fired.
So there's been a lot of different reactions to owners and teams and players' reactions to the George Floyd protests and Black Lives Matter movement and the trying to make everybody aware of the police brutality that happens across America to our people of color. One person out there that their team has really rallied behind is the Vikings head coach. Zimmer came out with a statement, and everybody was like, I would run through a wall for Zimmer. He understands what's going on. He gets us, and we would die for him. And what he said was, I don't understand, and maybe I haven't given this as much attention, but I love every single one of you guys, and I'll fight for you like you're my sons. And, that's all he had to say.
That's a powerful statement.
Absolutely.
And then he listened.
And then
he
he
listened
listened.
to Kendricks, and he listened to Barr, and he listened to the team talk to him about their problems and what's going on with them.
And he owned up to his lack of understanding, like the whole, how serious it is.
Yeah. He instead of sitting there and saying, I understand what's going on, and I'm fed up. He's like, I don't get it. But I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to listen.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yep.
A lot more people would be accepted and taken in if you just owned up to the ignorance or lack of understanding or the mist covering your brain, like that shade over your eyes. You weren't able to see the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a lot easier to accept that if the people just owned up to that.
It comes down to humility. It comes down to, like,
I don't know what that means.
C-Dubs, you want to explain what humility means?
Exactly what Zimmer did. What Zimmer did is showing humility.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is.
Being able to take a step back and just be like, okay, I don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And more people need to do that. Way more people need to do that. There's a lot of assholes out there that say that they know everything about anything, and then they're going to give you your opinion about it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess you guys have
get-
any more to go with here other than like we can go into fuzzy memories here soon.
Times is almost
Yeah.
Jesus. The
Yeah.
time flew.
Yeah, got some fuzzy
Jeez.
memories to
I
finish
thought it
off
was
the
only
show,
like
right?
20 minutes, man. Time flies
Whoa.
when you're having fun with a bunch of faces you haven't seen in a long time.
Okay, you heard the sound. It is fuzzy memory trivia time. What we
boy.
do here, JMose, is
Jay who?
JMose, who
okay.
is
That's me.
at the end of the show, we have a little trivia contest where I ask questions and JMez and C-Dubs answer those questions.
me.
And since you're here, you get to answer the questions too.
Okay.
Did our last guest get any answers correct? Did we even do fuzzy memories with our last guest?
No.
Nice.
Okay.
The bar set low. I'm in.
Okay, so let's just start this off right away once I find my questions here.
Good luck.
They're locked away in a vault, so he has to remember the combination every time he opens it up.
It's a 19 number combination too. It's pretty difficult.
Okay, ready, guys? Fuzzy memories. JMose. How big is a baseball?
A little bit smaller in my hand.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It's JMez. How big?
Can I ask for clarification on if you're looking for like size or like a weight?
Size
Okay.
in inches in circumference.
Radius or diameter?
Yeah, circumference diameter of 3 inches.
Incorrect. C-Dubs.
9?
Correct.
No.
9 inches in circumference.
Yeah.
I don't know what circumference means, so I was automatically out. That's not fair.
JMez. What sport is dubbed the king of sports?
The king of sports is, always has been, and always will be golf.
Incorrect. C-Dubs.
Who?
The king of sports. I will say boxing?
Incorrect. JMose.
Soccer.
Correct. Ding,
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 ding.
ding.
Of course. Duh.
Your former athlete in the house.
C-Dubs, what is Canada's national sport?
Hockey. Oh, wait.
Incorrect. JMose.
Ooh.
I would think it would be hockey too. but-
Yeah, that would have been what I would have said too.
If I think so, there's a club in Mankato that does it.
Lacrosse.
Correct. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm cheating like a motherfucker. Thanks, Dylan.
Got a half point coming on.
Oh, never again.
And that's fuzzy memory trivia for you guys tonight. We are good to go.
9 inches for baseball, really?
Yeah.
If you put it, yeah, if you hold the tape measure around it.
Right. So if you took the leather apart or the material apart and laid it flat, it'd be 9 inches.
Yeah. Whoa.
Were you thinking about the width of a baseball, JMez? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah.
think
I
it
was
would be
thinking.
like.
I was thinking diameter.
yeah.
Well, so we're at the end of the episode. JMose, with our guests that we have on this season, we like to give away some of the last minutes and some of the last time for you to kind of talk about anything and everything that you want to talk about. What's going on with your life, with everything, anything, and all the stuff in between. What's going on, bud?
First thing I have to say is I've been enjoying raising 2 beautiful children.
Yeah.
It has changed my life dramatically
Yeah.
for the better.
Good.
For the better. But there's been a lot of music as of recently,
Okay.
the last, I don't know, I'd say 2 months, up at Young Black Studio, who's a local artist here in Mankato. We got a great engineer, Chris Parker, SMG, self-made, awesome engineer, very talented. Me, Double O, Relly, and Prime have been in there. It's been way past due and a lot of time missed making music because everybody has their own separate lives, and you know you have to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
But the creativity, the music creativity, and the music juju, that good juju, that might be kind of racist, right? Maybe I don't know. I want to say something that might have some, but that good energy and vibes is back in action.
Good,
and it's going great. And I just made my social medias at I am JMose on Twitter and Instagram. That's my first time doing this, man.
there you go. There you go.
It's going great, man. Everything is lovely. It could be so much worse. I'm just appreciating, where I'm at in life. So
That's awesome. That makes me really happy to hear.
And I want to thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude.
It was awesome to see you.
You too, Jay
Yeah,
Maz.
Yeah, man.
And C Dubs, not Charlie.
When you three brothers are together, it's formidable. It's an energy that nobody can touch, and it's pretty amazing what you guys can do, and the talent that comes out of your family is just phenomenal, man. And I'm 100% looking very, very, very forward to what you guys have planned.
Are you just saying this because Black Lives Matter?
I'm saying it because I 100% believe it. At the same time, Black lives do matter.
That was a joke, and nobody laughed.
Just saying.
It didn't hit like I thought it would have. Black lives do matter, and I appreciate the compliment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy.
I'm happy too. I'm happy that I know you guys. I'm happy that I know JMez and C-Dubs. I'm happy that through all the different things that are going on in our world right now, especially the very trying times, that we are, I feel 100% this is true, that we are all growing together in this. As long as we keep our minds opened and our ears opened, we will 100% get through this. I was going to say get past this, but it's not getting past. It's about getting through it and working together to get through this. And so we can all wake up and live in a lot more peace and harmony than we ever have before. And I keep on telling people, the knowledge that I'm gaining is definitely worth the struggle that I'm going through myself for the realizations I'm coming up to, with myself, and the things that I need to work on myself. And it's a 100% trying time, but we always during the dark times we have to look for that light.
What'd you call me?
I didn't call you anything other than my friend.
No, I love you guys. I love people. A human is a human. We all bleed. We all shit. We all fart. We all blink. We all sleep.
I do that a lot.
We all do the same shit. Respect and appreciate each other as that. You know?
Yep. Like I was complaining about last week. Where did the golden rule go? Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Right.
Yep. JMez, what do you got going on next week?
Well, I might escape into some wilderness for a weekend.
Did you say skate?
Escape.
Oh, okay.
I was going to do a kickflip in the woods.
Yeah, I might go and do a kickflip in the woods, or I might start building a computer.
That sounds like a good.
Haven't decided yet.
One of those two: escape into the wilderness or work on technology.
Talk about opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
C-Dubs, what do you got going on this next week?
Just getting back to the swing of going to work again. And, yeah, that's
Don't
mainly
do
what
it.
I'll be doing. Nah, I
Don't
probably
do it.
shouldn't.
JMose, what do you got going on this next week?
I'm taking the kids to the grandparents.
Good.
and fishing.
Good.
And just enjoying life. That's it. To me, that's it. As long as you're enjoying your life, you're good.
I like that. I myself, you guys gonna ask me, or should I just go into it?
I want to ask
go
you.
ahead, Fuzz.
I want to hear
Hey,
you ask
Hey,
yourself.
Fuzz Talk.
Yeah, ask
What do you
yourself.
got going on this week?
This week, all the those things and stuff and whatnot, like just doing the things that Fuzzy does.
Super specific. I like it.
Gonna try to figure out another way of promoting peace and love and prosperity to our fellow man, and to keep everything as nice as possible, while understanding that not everything's right now, and trying to, I don't know, every week
You find that light in the darkness, my brother.
gotta hold on to it and know that things will be better as long as we work on it.
The best of you from
Fuzz Talk.
radio. KMRT.